This is July the 10th, July the 9th, Sunday, and I'm at the home of Al Keating in Strathadam, New Brunswick, and we're talking about Joe Smith and one thing and another. So I'll just set that right there, and
now when that's going, that won't take nothing, only when you're talking, will it?
Oh no, we're talking, and she's taking it down. But that means that when I go home tonight or whatever it is, I can sit there and take notes on it, and I won't have to bother you, to stop and say, "No, wait a minute, you repeat that so that I can get it." This way, I go home and I can play it back over again as many times as I want to until I got it. Saves a lot of trouble. That's all. But
well, if we sang a song, I suppose Miss Manny could record it for sometimes, could he?
It's all recorded.
Yeah.
And sure, it'd be delightful. But,
well, I'll get her in and we'll sing a song, right?
That's all right. I just tell you, I just wanted to talk for a few minutes about. I'll go back and talk about Joe Smith again for a few minutes, so that I could. Now, you went and you brought Joe down from Holmes Lake.
I did. Yes.
When he went, did he go through the ice?
Yes.
Is that what happened?
Well, he was coming. It was the 23rd day of November, and him and this old lame man was crossed to the big lake. There was a big lake over there, the Little South Lake. See, it was
Little South Lake.
Yes, it was a very big lake, 5 miles long and 3 miles wide. And then they come over to they're built on Holmes Lake. But there's Holmes Lake, then the Little South Lake. You see, the big lake. And he was coming through, and the inlet of the lake come right through this way and running off to the north. You see, into the lake. And he said, and there was a cove, and he says, "I think I'll go across this way, Tom." Well, Tom says, "I'll go around by the shore." Well, Joe went out in the lake and went into the lake and got drowned.
Oh dear. He was not an old man at that time, was he?
No. Joe was about, let me see now, that's 51 years. He was about 23 or 24 years old.
Oh dear.
Yes.
Just a young fellow.
Yeah.
And you were saying now that you were at a particular place up there when he made up this Bells of Renews, that song they were just reciting for me?
Yes. Well, he made it up and sang it to us at Dennis. The first time I remember he was going into the woods.
Dennis's?
Yes, at Dennis's. Yeah.
And he was going into the woods?
Going into the woods, yes, then.
At that time?
Yeah.
And what was that little bit of it that you just recited over for me? Would you go over that for me again?
With the New River Girls?
Yeah.
Oh, come on, you fair damsel of Grainfield who live at your ease. Give up your night walking and going to sprees. Stay home with your mother, don't cause her to fret, and don't get mixed up with that upriver set. Those country dances are only a sham, got up by the neighbours to plot and to plan. The New River Girls, they're hard for the suit. It's a man dressed in handsome, they'd call him a brute. It's a dude from the city with a cutaway coat, in a high-standing collar and they're shaving his throat. Not a cent in his pocket his fare for him could pay, and his whisker going crazy for the want of a shave.
And you found that, you say, on a...
Yes, I found that afterwards, after that he was dead.
You found the thing all written out, eh?
Written out, yes. But there was more to it, But I don't know where it went to. Someone, God, I don't know where it went to tell you the truth. I can't tell you.
Now you were just telling me about another piece here about Sinclair and the other.
He said, old Bob Swim, he said, you all know him who robbed the earthbound shores, who robbed poor orphans of their homes, turned widows out of doors. He said, High Collar Jim, you all know him. And then Eddie Sinclair said, he called Eddie Sinclair the king of the Miramichi. And then he said, Tim Lynch and Dan are now at hand. A verse for them I'll make, for I know the devil will have their bones and throw them in a lake that'll burn forever unto that eternal day. So
now you said he robbed the
orphans of their homes. He robbed poor orphans of their homes, turned widows out of doors.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
It was pretty well put together too.
Yeah, I would say so. This is all one song, these little bits?
Yes, it is. And he come from up, way up in Blackville, right down, clean down here to Nelson over here, South Nelson. And all the fellas that lumbered, and all the names in sleep.
Oh, for goodness sake.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, I didn't realize that he'd done...
Oh, yeah.
Now, how'd people take his songs when he'd make them up? I mean, did they get sore?
No. 'Twas no of them get sore because he didn't care for no one or
No, I just wondered if any of them, he'd make up a song on a guy and he'd say something like that about him if the fellow get angry about it. And that was the thing that I was kind of curious about. But were most of his songs this sort of thing, taking pokes at somebody, or?
Oh, yes, just but he didn't care. He was an awful smart, hearty, strong man, Joseph.
He was.
My soul, yes, he could turn a hamstring from here to the barn, backward or frontward or anything at all. Awful smartness, be great on him. An awful strong man. He could throw a barrel of pork onto his shoulder and walk off it just the same as nothing. Yeah. Oh, yes.
A good woodsman?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
And a good boatman, you say, too.
Yes, a great boatman. Oh, yes. Yeah, he was a great boatman. Yeah. Oh, a fine fellow, Joe,
Yeah. Now, somebody was telling me that he was an awful man to drink.
No. I've seen him go up there in the summertime and stay all summer, and then he'd stay all winter, look after the place up there, and maybe he'd never have a drink in 6 or 8 months, you see?
Yeah. So that just isn't true, then?
No.
Well, that's
No.
That's interesting. Would he write these songs out?
Oh, yes, write them out. Yes, write them out, all this. And then maybe he'd have a song and you'd never know or something until he'd sing it for you. Yeah.
Was he a good singer?
Oh, yes, a good singer, yeah. And he could step dance. I used to see him take moving picture of Joe Smith step dancing up there and turning handsprings on the veranda, and Mr. Pratt running a moving picture machine taking a picture.
Oh, for goodness sake.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Wonder if those are still around.
I don't.
I wonder if those pictures...
He's dead, Joe's dead, and Mr. Pratt's dead, and his wife is dead.
Yeah.
But Sherman Pratt come here last year, stopped at the gate and walked into the barn last spring and seen me. He said, "Do you know me?" Wait a minute. And I hadn't seen him when he was about 14 years old. It was 40-some years that I didn't ever seen him. And I said, "Yes, you are Sherman Pratt, or one of George Pratt's boys." He said, "I'm Sherman." I said, "How are you?" Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
But would Joe ever have his stuff printed?
No, he never.
At all?
No, he never. Well, in them days there was no like the folk songs and going around. You see?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I was wondering if he ever went down and had him. I know now Larry Gorman down in Bangor.
Yeah.
He used to do that. He'd take and have his songs printed up on a sheet like that, and then he'd go around and sell them.
Yes,
10 cents a piece.
Yeah.
But Joe never did that, eh?
No. Here comes Larry Gorman, the man that makes the songs.
Oh, yeah. He was around here, too, for some time, of course.
He used to live in Nelson, over there across the river, Larry Gorman.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
There was a Mike Gorman around, too, wasn't there? Mike and
Yes, Mike Gorman, yes.
I was talking to, who was it, a fellow from Grey Rapid a couple of years back, Jim Lynch.
Yeah.
And Jim said he remembered Larry. He'd known him down in Bangor for a while.
How was Melbourne the other day? Did he have a drink in at all?
Who?
Melbourne McDonald. Did he have a drink at all the other day?
Wilmot?
Yeah, Wilmot.
Well, yeah, he had a drink in him. And I'd say he even had a couple of drinks in him.
Yeah.
But not too bad. Not so bad. When he got him down there, he was all right.
Well, I used to take a drink too myself, not very much, but I haven't took a drink of beer, whiskey, or wine for a year.
Is that right?
Never took a taste. No, never took a taste.
Well, that.
No, I had some trouble, and I went up to see a doctor in Bathurst here, Thompson. He's a great doctor, and he told me, he said, if you never take another drink as long as you did. So I was up there the other day. Last Thursday was up, and my wife and my daughter had to operate up this winter. And he said to me, "Well, did you have a drink?" I said, "No." Did it bother you? Never bothered me, son. Neither did it. Didn't bother me. Well, I never drank very much anyway, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe go through a time and have a drink or so, and then that's all I'd had. But it never bothered me.
Yeah.
It never bothered me.
Now, you worked as a woodsman up here, didn't you, up on the river?
Yes, I run camp, logging camp for the Everett Company, and
For the who?
For the Everett Company. That's where the pulp mill's built down there now.
Yeah.
And drove stream drives, took charge of big stream drives and.
Oh, you took charge, eh?
Oh yes. Run camps and took charge of them and cut them in the fall of the year and then drove them right into the boom up here.
All right. You drive the northwest, or are we over on the...
Up on the northwest here.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. That's a rough stream up there too.
It is?
Oh yes, a rough water, yeah. Yeah, rough stream, oh yes.
And,
I left home here one time the 19th day of August, and I didn't get done logging the 28th day of March. Never was in the 7th.
you never were in town all that time?
Never
huh?
was in town. Never was home.
Oh, brother.
Never was home.
Tell me now, on the drive, what would you carry the supplies in? Let's say the cooking,
Well,
wagon and all that sort of stuff.
I'll just tell you what we carried the supplies in. Well, had 2 baggage boats, you see. Well, if we was working down on this stream here, down here, say down the river here, half a mile. Well, at 10 o'clock, the first baggage had come, you see. Well, I'd always know how I'd have fellas go ahead and clean off a tent pole and cut some wood the next night. Well, then they'd lunch that crowd there, all that crowd would be come there, you see, to lunch. And, you know, they'd know what time there was going to be lunchtime, they'd all come there to lunch. Well, then them 2 bagsmen get into that baggage, and we wouldn't touch a log for 15 or 20 minutes after they started, so they wouldn't buzz, you see, they'd go on. Well, they'd walk up the stream again, and at 2 o'clock, they'd bring the other bag and come down with the other baggage, you see, and go to maybe go a mile, or maybe just however a day, maybe sometimes 2 miles, maybe sometimes 3 miles, you see, and run I was up there one time, and Dick Scott and Elmer, they was running ferry. I was driving 2 rivers, a little river and the Norwest, and they was going out, and I had about 100 men there, I suppose, you see, and they kept putting there getting away, and I said, boy, just a minute. Now I said, there's a couple of, and then there was more fellas going. I said, just wait, hold a minute now, I talk to these fellas, you fellas see. You fellas go over and take that ferry that Dick and Elmer run over there on Little River. And bring it along at the rear today and ferry them in back and forth. Of course, them fellas carried the lunch over there, you see. And I said, Dick, I want you and Elmer to stay here and run one of these bags at 2 o'clock. We're leaving camp, getting clear of camp. And I said, well, Dick says to me, he said, oh, hell, he said, I don't want to go with Elmer in that boat today, his younger brother, you see. I said, what's the matter? What's the matter, running? No trouble, he'll run it. He'll run it. Don't no worry about him running. He'll run it.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, I was watching for about 2 o'clock. About 2 o'clock, I hollered me time. I said, they'll be soon do here. So I seen the baggage coming, 1 baggage. Elmer was in the bow and Dickie was in the stern. There was big drops of sweat rolled right down. He had no hat on him. So he ran back until I was on this beach to come in on this side of the north side of the river, you see. So he made her all right. Well, when he came in, he couldn't hardly speak. He said to me that night, I said, oh, yes, he says, but he's awful heedless. He won't listen to me what I say. Well, Dick is about 75-year-old now, and he set a net here. You'd see on this river, the shad starts the 1st of June, the 20th of May. You can set a net. See, pay a dollar and set a shad net, but it gets shad. Well, you get shad and salmon, or not salmon into it, and bass, you see. Well, Dick set a net, and, well, he lost her. Someone stole her, New Orleans took her. Well, Val was out in the river the other night, and they seen something going up and down, and open and hauled it up. It was Dick's net. And there was no buoy on the buoy, it was just on the top of the net, only a little, and it was low tide in the cut. And
up and down there, yeah.
Took the net in bottom, and there was fish into her, and all spoiled and rotten, you know. And so they took it up to him. He said, we got your net, Dick. Where? The river. How? Well, he couldn't see how that is. Well, it was right enough, you see.
Yeah.
His brother said, just as I thought, some stupid trick he do like that.
Somewhat some stupid
trick. Dick's getting pretty old now.
Yeah. Tell me about the time that you got to see little bears.
I was up working for George Washington Hill once, man. Was back working at a meadow, trying to plow it up and get it rigged up. Well, we were just about coming home. We were just about coming home, and the fellow was me. He said, "What's the horses?" He said, "There's a moose past there." And I looked, and the horse looked. I said, "No, it ain't. It's an old bear and 3 young ones." And I said, "Come on." I just let the horse there, and I grabbed an old axe and run down. And he come down with me and chased the cubs down up a tree. Well, I said, "My God, it's too bad." It was about a mile out to the camp. I said, "Too bad we had to have some of them out there." Mr. Hill was there. Well, I said, "You stay here and I'll go." "Oh, no," he said, "I wouldn't stay here." Well, I said, "I'll stay here. You go up and tell them to come in. Tell Mr. Hill, come on in." All the crowd. So they all come in. Men and women, I think, from everyone at the camp come in there. They come in. Well, the old bear would go away a piece, and she'd call the young, and she'd come back up and 5 feet of me sometimes, just jumping right firmly.
Yeah.
And when she come up, she'd stop. And go away again. Well, she'd done that now maybe 8 or 10 times. So when Mr. Hill come in, he wouldn't come off the road in where the tree was. He was scared. So they brought in the gun, and when she come the next time, we shot her. So he had them went back the next morning and cut the top off the tree and brought it down. Oh, he had a big living room,
You didn't tell me how you cut the deer or something.
What?
Didn't say how you cut the cub.
Well, the bears up and shot her. What's going to do? Going to shoot them? I said, "No, you needn't shoot them." "Why?" "Well, we'll get a pole, and there's a wire up on the sled up there." So I brought down the team and tied them and got some hay wire and made a snare, a loop on a pole. I went up the tree piece. I said, "Have me up the pole." So I hauled it over their heads and gave them a jerk and threw them down. So they put one fellow in the bag, and he tore out of it. Well, I said, "Take and haul him tight. Don't be scared of hauling. Haul him just as tight as you can. Haul him." Another fellow grabbed him by the hind legs and haul him tight. And hold him tight. You can't choke him. I said, I said, "Wire his hind legs, cross his hind legs and wire them and cross the bar they can wire them. Then put him in the bag, can't do nothing." So I did. So I caught the last one, well, but there was them all out. So then there was a taxidermist company sent it for him, got a taxidermist, he come over, put up the tree outside, and he put them up the tree and had a picture taken. Then he wanted them mounted, just the same as it was up the tree. So the taxidermist then shot them and 22 and had them all in this big living room up this tree, and the old one standing at the bottom of the tree looking up.
Where's that now? Where's this?
It was up on the Norwest here.
Oh,
yeah.
Up the river, eh?
But Mr. Hill, he's dead now too.
Mhm.
Gone.
I'm trying to start with the monkey. I caught a monkey.
You catch a
You're
monkey
one.
up here?
Yes.
One time, there was a fellow named Cox back here, building the pipeline. See, there's a water comes from Millstream. They built a dam in the Millstream, and the road goes down the pipeline back here and comes out at the pump down here. See, and there was a fellow building that road and with the name of Cox and putting up the pipeline. You see, a pipe full of water, and someone said there was a monkey there. Well, I said, "Hell, there was a monkey." Well, it was all summer, and they tried to catch him and tried to catch him, and so my son was up here one day, and he was up one Sunday, it was in the fall of the year, and there was snow on. He come down and he said, "Did you ever see the monkey? Come on, I'll show you." And there he was up here at the Prairie Road above here, pretty near 2 miles above it. That was Sunday afternoon. He was up there, some snow on the ground. He was pretty cold. There was an old man, an old woman there, and I told him, I said, "Don't." I give him $10. I said, "Don't you let the young fellas pass my rock today about it." So they didn't. All right. Says, "I'm coming tomorrow morning to get you." So the next morning I left here and took a trap with me and went up. Well, I didn't take nothing with me, but I went into the store and I got a half a dozen of apples and a bun of bread and a bottle of molasses. I went up. There he was still there up the tree. So I set up a trap. And I was only there about 10 or 15 minutes till I had the monkey in captivity. You know, and I put up a trap with it was a mink trap. I could get him in the trap all right, Then I put a binder twine away over to a shed, about 300 feet,
Mink pen.
a mink pen.
Yeah.
Well, I put some molasses, and they said he was crazy about bread and molasses and apples and stuff, and put it in the back of him, and he come down, and he got up on the, came up and looked in this door, and I thought she looked pretty good and smelled pretty good, you and Ian. So I was standing away off a piece, they couldn't see him. But I said, I'll be up in my hand, do that, when you haul that string, jerk that string. And I said, hold it tight. You know, they did. And he jumped right back and jumped, tried to break open that door, but he couldn't break it open. And he roared and jumped at me. So I put the snap on it and fastened on it.
Yeah.
So I come home, and Janie was, I said, Janie, get us a cup of tea, we got to go to town. And she said, well, we got to take down the monkey. Yes, what monkey? And
You had the truck.
and the truck, his son's truck.
Leo's.
And he ran up the truck in the inside of the gate, looked, and Leo said to her son, said, look, Mom, look. And then she ran over, oh, you got the monkey. Well, I said, that's I went for it. And there was people, you know, that tried to catch that monkey, and that's the first time ever I tried to catch it. There was a fellow up here, Mrs. Hare's husband, he tried to catch him. Curly Hare.
Yeah.
He tried to catch him, and he couldn't. Well, they thought it was, well, I said they made it travel, caught other animals, but they couldn't trap monkeys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I took him to town, and on the way down, I got $100 from him.
My Lord. Oh, well, what was he doing up here?
Well,
How did he get there? Anybody know?
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows how he got there.
I couldn't figure it about home to the monkey.
What?
What you come head in there? I said,
Well, Ozzy Russell had him down. He must have had him for.
Long
Well, there's I told him the fellow that run that gas station down there. I'm in his place down there, and showed him the monkey. Well, head of me story. When it was going down, right at the road, the state road here, Leo says, "There's Cox. There's the fellow that bought all the apples and stuff for them." And so I get out and went over to him. I said, "Are you Mr. Cox?" He said, "I am." Well, I said, "They tell me that you've seen a monkey up on this pipeline here this summer." He said, "I bought $75 worth of stuff for that son of a bitch." He said, well, I said, "Come on over here, I want something to show you." I said, "There's a bugger right there. How'd you get him?" I didn't tell him how I got him, but I said, "There he is. I got him about 20 minutes ago," I said, "up there." My God, he said. Well, I got him so easy and so quick, you know.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I caught 2 deer one time here, and I took them down up in the mountain in Virginia. 2 deer, and I got them in February. It was awful cold weather, I know. I went way up to Dennis's, way up there, at what they call the Red Stone, and caught them there. And when I was about a week on the road with them, and when they landed there, they was smart as bees. I stayed with the old fellow all night. We went across into the reserve the next morning, and they was jumping around there smart as they could be. And they grew up to be very, very 2 buck deer, very big deer.
Took him down to
West Virginia.
my Lord.
Yeah.
How? How come you took him down there?
Well, this old fella had a private reserve there, you see. He had a private reserve there.
Yeah.
Well, there was a fellow with me, up hunting with me at the Ball Mount, and he asked me, could I catch them? I said, yes, I can catch them. Well, I had to get, there was more red tape to it, and I had to get a permit, and I had to get a permit. When I went to Buffalo, New York, I had to go, the fellow from the zoo had to come there and take, but he didn't take their blood. But he just come down and look, he said, "Them come from cold country." I said, "Yes." I said, "The morning that I left to go to get them there, it was 40 below, so it was below 0. And I said, "Oh," he said, "them deer's nothing the matter, them deer no disease, perfectly safe." So he said, "All right." So, but, well, he said, "We take a chance." I said, "All right, I'll not take a chance, but if you fellas spend them, I'll get the deer." But I said, "I ain't going to say I'm going to land them there safe." Well, that fella told me there that was the longest shipping for deer that ever, that ever knew of. It's taken that far. But I just built 2 little stalls, like 2 little horse stalls, about that wide for them, you see. And I put a manger in them, and a pan in, I could put water in there for them. Well, the first night, It was warm in the express car. I took them on express. They drank an awful lot of water, and I thought maybe was going to die. But people were saying, feed them oats and feed them this. But I just fed them what they was used to getting.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
moss and cedar and
Mhm.
birch buds
Mhm.
and stuff like that. But that's all. I never fed them oats, because oats, he told me, oats would kill them in captivity.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
he did.
Yeah.
So maybe likely it would too. But I never.
Did you ever hear a story about a man who caught a moose bird and pulled all the feathers out of it?
Well, I did. Yes.
What is that? Can you tell me that?
Well, I don't know much about it, but I heard that. I knew. I seen a fella trounce a mooseberry in the woods myself one time.
You did what?
I seen a fella trounce a mooseberry in the woods.
Oh?
Well, I didn't see it right this week, because I was running a logging camp, and this fella come along. The fella told me, he said, "Well, the sad thing happened here." He said, "This fella trounced this mooseberry." I said, "You have no luck with it." And that afternoon, he cut himself up, and he never put his foot on for 6 months. Yeah.
Huh.
So I told him, I said, "You couldn't have no better luck. By God," I said, "you trounce that mooseberry today. Now that'll learn you never trounce another one."
Huh.
Yes, he did so.
For goodness sakes. Now, the story I'd heard, the one about the fellow who pulled the feathers out of it?
Yes, I did hear tell of some of that. I don't know where it was done exactly, but I've heard tell of it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And what'd you hear happened to him?
Well, I think that is all the hair fell out of his head or something.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the story, yeah.
Yeah, he took the feathers out, didn't he?
What's
Yeah.
that?
Did he take the feathers off of the...
Yeah.
Pull all the feathers out of the bird,
Let
yeah.
it go alive,
And
did
then
he?
let it go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
And next morning he's supposed to waked up and all his hair was lying right there on the pillow beside him.
My goodness.
And that's the story I've heard. And I was just one. But it was bad luck to hurt a moose bird, eh?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, they always call him the lumberman's friend. You
Mhm.
see, a moose bird.
Uh-huh.
Well, now I'll tell you what a moose bird will do. I've seen that. I caught a calf moose one time when he was very young, nursing the mother. And I said, well, I had to catch the mother first
Mhm.
before to get the calf. Well, I caught the mother, and the mother hung herself. And I waited up.
Hung herself?
Yeah.
In a noose or what?
Yeah, I had a snare for her. you see.
Oh, yeah.
And she was to come to that camp, and we stayed up till 1 o'clock that night to watch her.
Mhm.
She never come. Well, I said, boys, it was right at the door.
Mhm.
It's no use. She ain't going to come tonight. And by God, it was after hours, sometime along in the morning, she come, but we never heard her. When I got up, just daylight, she was in the snare and dead to the world.
Mm.
Well, the calf moose never showed up. He never come back to the place for about a month. And he got starved out, I suppose, and one night just about dusk, he was coming down the trail, the road. I said, my God, look at the calf moose. So they always like molasses and potato skins, so I put some where he could get them and he'd come that night and eat them. Well, the next night I had it all ready for him. And I had a corral for him to winter. Well, when he went into this corral, I went in behind him. And I caught him. Well, when you know me and him went out of that corral and into a big open wooden pile, down, and him hit me with his hind legs and roaring and striking his hind nose. Oh, he cut me in places too, and I tore the shirt off my back. And last, I got him down. And got my hand in his jaw, lower jaw, and twisted. And some fellas come and put a rope on him. You know, I tamed that fella. Well, he stayed there till he was 3.5 years old. When he was 1.5 years old, when the rutting seeds come on, he went round the camp grunting, like an old bull. And that's when he come 2.5, he done the same thing. When he come 3.5, he grunted and went round there 2 days, and he went away. Well, he went over about 15 miles from there and stepped into the camp yard, and the sport shot him.
Oh, for goodness sake.
Yeah.
He used to come into the camp, didn't he? Mr.
Oh, yes,
Howe,
he's got pictures of
home
him.
his leg, Mrs. Howe.
Mrs. Howe, and she called him Harry.
Uh-huh.
And, you know, the old lady used to go that night, he'd lay at the door and cover him over.
Uh-huh.
Well, when she'd cover him over, he didn't like that. He didn't like it. He'd get up and shake that off him with an old mat. Well, he'd step out in the snow then, with snow was even lay down where his feet was warm. They
Yeah.
should dig around there. Harry, she called him. Oh, my soul, yes.
Was there, how long has it been against the law to shoot moose here now?
Well, they could last fall.
They could, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had a...
For me.
How many days was on last fall, Jenny? Was it a week or so? I think it was a week or something. But they're going to be longer this fall.
Yeah.
$15 license, but there was an awful lot of people got license that never... I think there was 400 licenses sold.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. But, but there's going to be on longer this year.
Uh-huh.
But those people got a license that, was going to go out the back door and get a moose, and they never got none, you see?
Yeah. Well, now, for how long before that had it been against the law?
I think it was about 20-some years, I think. 24 years, I think. 24, 25 years, yeah.
They tell me moose meat's about as good a meat as you can get.
Yes, it's lovely meat.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, did you ever have any?
No, never
Never
did.
did.
Never
You
did.
did?
No.
I'm going to tell you a story about moose meat, and she knows it too. I was up to Peavy Lake one time with a crowd of sports. There was a fella, Hisson Riley, a German fella and an Irish fella come here for 11 years straight ahead. Well, they always stayed the month of November. They always bought a barrel of whiskey with them. They got to Newcastle. They took it up the woods. Well, they had that month and they used to drink and just play cards, and didn't hunt much. So I was going over 3 miles across to Lake Brook to meet the team coming in that night, to come in to take it out.
Mm.
And this Irish fella said to me, he says, I'll take your gun along. He said, I have $1,000. Car coming?
No.
I have $1,000, he said, to bet on. I've got to take a home a moose with me. I said, yeah, well, why did you tell me that long ago? Well, I took my own life, 38.55. He wanted me to take, I said, no, I'm going to take my own gun. If I lose, it'll be my luck. If I take yours and break it, anything else will be all right. So, I went over across the North Bend, I tried the ice, I said, the ice is all right now, the horse. And I walked up along an old land and cutting all it, and I got up. Here was a moose feeding right along the mountain. I looked at him. He had a nice little head on. God damn it, I said, I'll try him. He never seen me. And I fired at him. The fire took me. He jumped out, kind of his head, and he didn't move. And I fired at him again, and down he went. Like so. Now here I got a job. I had to take the inside down then, and I skinned out the head and set up on a stump. And I said, I'll take it off the lake tonight and skin it out.
Mm.
So the team come. So I cut out the 2 hind hams. I never took the skin up, but just cut them off, and they're lovely hams and big hams and I brought it home. I hung it up in the wagon shed here. It stayed till next April. And Dick said to me up here, what are you taking that truck for? That's no good. God damn it, that moose meat's no good. I said, don't you worry. Well, the next spring, he was going to come down to cut my wood here in April, you see. I had a big lot of wood ears, wood for to cut up, and he come down. And Janie said to me, what are we going to have for meat? Janie, I said, we got 100 pounds of meat, steak at the back. So the evening before, I skinned it out and took over a knife and I sliced it off and I cut strips about that wide of it, an old big slab and brought it up. So she roasted, put it in the roasting pan and put some pork among it, you see. Look, that was the best meat that ever you did, and was just as tender as a chicken. Well, dinner time come, quite a crowd around the table, and Dick speaks up. He said, where'd you get the meat? I said, Frank White. Frank White was a man that always stole meat here in town, but he was a very dear man. Well, he said, that's awful good meat, he said. I never tasted nothing of that for me life. No, I said, you pay a good price for meat at Frank White's, but I said, you get something. Well, he was down here in the summertime, and he said, what did you do to that moose meat? That you brought out there. Oh, I said, it was no good, had it. I told you it was no good. I told you, what the hell you brought it out for? What, you do no good, brought it out. I said, Dick, you eat that here this spring, and you said it was the best meat ever you tasted for your dinner the day we got the wood. That wasn't it. Well, I said, ask her there. She said she don't. Yes, she says, Dick, that was a moose meat. Well, I'll have to say it was good meat. It was good meat. And so it was had hung on up that all winter, you know.
Yeah.
It was just as tender as a chicken.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you another one. Was up in the Bald Mountains one time, and I was guiding Big doctor weighed 275 pounds, Dr. Taming from New York. And Dick was guiding a little fellow weighed about 100-pound Bower. And the doctor said to me, he said, I'd love to get a bear. He said, have some bear steak. Dick says, bear steak, doctor. I wouldn't need bear steak for no money, he said. There's something in bear steak that'll kill you. No, he said, don't be foolish. He said, after that's cooked, he said, there's nothing in that'll hurt you. So the next day we got a bear over in Blueberry Mountain. And we come home as soon as we got the bear. We shot the bear about 3 o'clock and we come home about 4:30. And he says to cook. Now he said that Billy Woods, I want some bear steak for supper and brown gravy and onions. Billy said, all right. But I said, Billy wants blueberry pie. And Billy was deathly scared of bears, you know. Well, Dick said, Billy said, I was out today, but I ain't going out no more. Why? When we was coming over the mountain, the bear, up in a big mountain, I could see Billy with a can glittering in the valley way below, you see. And I said, Doctor, look at Billy. And he had an old Queen Anne gun, Queen Anne was a muzzle-loading gun in Queen Anne's day, in the war, then the Queen Anne's time. And he was coming up this trail and going on, you could see him playing in those open country. And I said, I wonder, could I make him hear me? So I got whining, and after a while he listened. And he jumped, and he grabbed the old gun, took down this trail, running for the camp, just as bright as he could run. So he said, that night, how does a cub bear go? Why? Well, I think you like these. Yes, I did. He'll go, ooh, ooh. I heard one today. I ain't going out no more. You go out and watch me, I'll go out. Well, the big guy. Well, Dick Hove blew in about dark. When the steak was already cooked and some cranberry pie for supper, and he went in, got a quart of whiskey and gave Dick a big drink of it. And what he got for supper? Well, Dick, we shot a beautiful bear on a beautiful deer on Blueberry Mountain today. And we had some, oh God, that's great job. We had some for supper. So Dick sat down, and I think he must have eaten about 3 pounds of that bear steak for supper, because he was awful hungry. Well, after supper, the doctor went down to the cigars, and Dick got sitting back, smoking. And, well, you have a good supper, Dick. The best supper ever I had in the Ball Mountains. The best supper ever I had in the Ball Mountains. And well, Dick, he says, you had bear steak for supper. Bear steak? Was that bear steak? By the God, if I'd have known, I wouldn't. That'll never hurt you, Dick. He got that off of Dick pretty good. He laughed about that. He used to, and a big belly, and he used to laugh and shake.
Oh, the doctor?
Yeah, the doctor. He used to laugh about that with Dick.
When you were in the camp, did they tell many stories?
Oh, yes, yes. Well, in the logging camp, they generally sing songs that night and tell stories, and that's all they have to do, you see, years ago,
Yeah. Well, what sort of stories would they tell?
Oh, all kinds of hunting stories and ghost stories and everything, you see, yeah. There was an old fella, old George Easty Fuller did, but he used to tell awful ghost stories. In the woods. And you take a young crowd of fellas in the woods, you know, young men, they were scared how to go outside the door at night. The ghost stories that old George would tell. Oh, yeah.
You don't remember any of them, do you?
No, I don't. I remember telling one time that about up the Northwest, there was a ghost appeared to this man. He told him. He said, you come here tomorrow night. And at such an hour, and I'll tell you, where there's enough money to keep you for the next generation to come. And the fella didn't go till too late. And when he come the next night, he said, you're too late. He disappeared and went away. Do you suppose there's anything in ghost stories?
I don't know. I just don't know.
Well, now, my father lived here. He lived, and it was 90 years when he died. I was a young fellow. Well, the cows didn't come home, and we went away, couldn't find them. So he went down the road and back in the woods, and he'd come up just about dark. And there was a man up here that lived up here, John the Arp, and he went to Nova Scotia. And when he come up and came in home, well, he said, I see a queer thing tonight. It was down in the woods. He said, I met John the Arms walking down the road. And I spoke to him, and he spoke to me very low. He said, I don't know, there's something wrong. And John the Arms died that night, just about that time. Was that a funny thing?
Gee.
And my father never seen or heard tell of a ghost story, but he just come home and sit down and told us. Now, not a funny thing. I often thought of that.
Yeah.
And he was a man that wouldn't sit up and tell you no, nothing that wasn't right or nothing. See?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it happened to him.
Yes, it happened to him.
Okay.
So by that, there must be some something.
Well, you wonder, don't you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It makes you wonder.
It's like they were saying the mind. I don't know where you were, but here they said there was going to be something happen in 1960. See, there was something going to happen in something going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So the priest was here one day, Father Vicky, and Janie was half scared of death. He said, "Who knows? Who knows? The man above ain't going to tell us.
Yeah.
The man that above, he says he ain't going to tell us. Ah." Is it?
Were they, of an evening, let's say, in a lumber camp, whatever, would there be much singing?
Oh yes, could sing quite a lot of songs, yeah. I know a fella used to sing quite a bit, he's dead now, poor fella in the long run, was Jerry Hanley. He used to sing a lot in a lumber camp, you know, yes. Yeah, he used to sing a lot.
Do you remember any songs from the woods there?
No, I don't remember much, I never sang very much.
I was just wondering, because a while ago you were speaking about, said you might sing one for me.
Yes, we were. Well,
Yeah.
me and
Yeah.
her's going to sing a song before you go.
Okay,
Yeah.
that'll be fine.
Yeah.
But now let me ask you a couple of more things about Joe Smith while we're at it. Now, where did he live when he was living?
He lived up Dungarvan.
He lived up Dungarvan.
Yeah.
Eh?
The Dungarvan run into the News River.
Uh-huh.
He said, what's his? News River and Dungarvan, two rivers in combine, that the hills are covered over with the lofty spruce and pine.
But he lived up the Dungarvan.
And the Dungarvan River, yeah. The
Did
Dungarvan.
he have a house up there,
Yeah,
or a camp back in the woods,
Yeah.
or what?
No, he had a little house there. Yeah.
Was he a married man?
Yeah. Had a wife. I think they had 4 children
Uh-huh.
when they died. Yeah, when he got drowned. Yeah.
Uh-huh. And he had 4 children.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
2 boys, 2 girls.
Uh-huh.
And she got married afterwards to a fellow named Fader. I know there was a priest up at the News, their old Father Murdoch. Well, he dealt with Sullivan, Din Sullivan.
Mm-hmm.
And the morning after he was buried, the next morning, Din Sullivan sent her a bill that he always dealt, then paid, paid when he got the money. He got the money, he always paid it, for $35. Wanted paid immediately. So Johnny Robinson done the head man here, and she wrote a letter to Johnny Robinson, and he sent a telegram to George Pratt, and George Pratt sent her $500 for to pay the bill.
Oh, brother.
You see, and 'twas me that took up the money.
Uh-huh.
I was going to go there. It was them days, it was driving horse, you see.
Yeah.
And it was an afternoon I left, and I went into Father Murdoch's. On the way, old father, always a fine man. He used to log and do what he Father Murdoch, you know what, logging camps and lived in the woods. And I went in and told him where I had to go, to a long drive, and I had to go back to Newcastle that night. Now he said, "My dear boy," I told him what everything was, what Din Sullivan. Now he said, when I was going away, I'll never forget it, he put his hand on my shoulder. He said, if that had been a case of mine, he said, I'd sent the poor widow a clear receipt the next morning. But he says, a man like that will never prosper. And Din Sullivan died, he didn't own the boots on his feet.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
didn't own the boots on his feet.
Yeah, it would have been a very simple thing for him to do, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Just to write out
Yeah,
and say,
say here. Yeah,
let it go.
just forget about
Yeah.
it.
Where is Joe buried, you know?
He was buried up Renews, on Renews, down at Renews.
In the village?
Yeah, at the Renews, yeah. Buried him down there at Renews.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
In the Catholic cemetery there,
Yes,
maybe?
yeah.
Was there a headstone, do you remember?
I don't know. I can't tell you.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah, well, I could go up and look sometime. Just find
I
out.
can't.
But you say he was a man, didn't he wouldn't be the least bit worried what anybody.
No. He didn't care about nothing. He'd walk out in the woods there, travel all day. If he had anything to eat, it was all right. But he didn't have nothing, it was all right. He'd sit down in the woods and eat a bit of dry bread and drink some black tea and laugh and talk. And he'd never say it was a poor meal. You know, he'd never say it was a poor meal. He'd laugh and talk. You'd often hear fellas saying about, oh, well, I haven't got this or I haven't. He'd sit down and eat that meal and you'd never know that.
He was that kind of guy.
He was a great axeman, Joe Smith.
He wasn't.
Oh, my soul, he cut logs, chopped logs. He was an awful strong man and chopped logs. My soul, yes. And a great peeperman, you know, too.
Great what?
A peeperman. Use a peavy on a drive.
Oh, peavy, yeah, sure, okay,
Yeah,
fine, yeah.
Peavy. Well, they all called them peepermen, you see. A good peeperman.
Yeah.
Well, if a fellow was driving, one time I was up on the drive and there was a little fella, the Humpy Joe. Well, he lives in Russia-Buckton now. He come to Sinclair's down there and they said no, there was all filled up. Will Sinclair was a big man, you know, the beard. Come out and going away. Hello there, son, where are you going? Well, Mr. Sinclair, we was just looking for a job to drive, but they're all filled up in there. Oh, yes, where did you drive? Oh, he drove Maine and these bad streams and everything. Now, by gad, look, just wait a minute, hold. Al Keating's going up the Chop Riding Road Monday morning. He'll be at Jim McNeil's Monday night. Now you just take your bundle and walk up the Norwest Road. You go there and tell Al Keating that I hired you. Well, little Joe was there that night and I said that's all he's come on in. So he came in and you know he was all of it. The walking boss, the head walker, came in one time and little Joe was across the river working on a jam. Well, he was doing no good because he should have been in a crowd, you see, then could the one man want a jam, he might roll off and nod a loose log, but after a while he'll come to a tight log that he can't do nothing with it, you see. And this fella's dead and gone now, and he said to me, how's little Joe? Oh, I said, the best man up there. Well, you know, when the walking boss went down, Jimmy Keating's name was, asked Will Sink, that's the first man he asked. He says, how's me little Injun, little Joe? Oh, Al says, Keating says, the best man up there. By God, I was never fooling an inch in me life.
Yeah, what?
I was never fooling an inch in me life. Well, there was a fella come down a spring from Cameron, Joe Capelin. And my God, he was a great driver, you know. Great on logs. And you'd often want to see him in the middle of the river and take off a center and whatever the water wasn't too rough, you know, and you'd say to yourself, now, I often watched him too. Now, you're going to get your ass wet then, maybe I often you see him. Look here, when the last log was going away, he'd jump on that log and pick another log and go on to the next thing. Just like clockwork, you see?
Yeah.
And
just like he was taking a taxi.
so he come out to was down at the Ways Bridge, and he told me, he said, I got to go to Cameron. He said, I got to be there on a lawsuit to such a date. Well, I said, me boy, I said, you'll have to go. So I just give him his time, and I wrote on the time, give him all you can give him, because he's a real good man, you see. But then when so they give him $5 a day. That was a big pay. That's you see, great. No other man ever got it, just on the drive. So they told Will, by God, he said, give him $5, he said. We'll kick that bird another spring. So when he come down, he said, how was Joe Keating? Oh, I said, look. That fella, I said, never looked for a boat, he never looked for nothing, I said. And he was always working, and he was always in the right place. He was never in that he wouldn't get, we land that fella next spring. So I did. He come along the next spring, hired him. No. And he was a real good man.
Yeah.
And years afterwards, this middle mill up here, he come here and he wanted a job. So I went in the office and I told George the matter. I said, George, give that fellow a job. He's a great man. He says, that's it. So he put him there, carrying slabs, and he carried slabs there all winter.
Mm-hmm.
And George Smart often asked me about him. He said, look, I'd hire Joe Capelin any place that ever I've seen him. No, he was a steady fellow, work away all day and never did pay no attention. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you were, the reason I was asking a little while ago, I asked you a question about Joe Smith. Larry Gorman, when he was over in Maine, was never too popular with the men.
No.
I kind of he made up these songs on
Oh, yeah,
that, and
yeah.
they'd get sore
Yeah.
about it, you know. But was this the way it was with Joe at all?
No.
People just didn't mind much. Huh?
Barn Town, that was quite a song, wasn't it?
Yeah, did you ever know that?
Oh, yes.
Did you ever know it?
Yeah, well, you got on in the haven't you?
Oh, I got most
Barn
of
Town.
it. Do you know it?
No,
Yourself?
I wrote some, but that's a song of Larry Gorman's song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you remember of it?
Barn Town of high renown, that's where I do belong, ain't it? With the black and white, they laced up tight, they're young men to beguile.
Now, where was Barrentown?
Well, over there in Nelson.
Oh?
Barn Town of high renown, that's where I do belong.
Well, that's, is it Barrentown?
Yeah, over there. Well, that must be, well, that's what I meant. That's where he was living then and made up the song, and all the fellas that was, was in the song drove from over there, you see.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Did you ever drive on the Southwest at all?
No, I never did. But I'd come down the big Southwest in a boat and come down.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, now, when Larry Gorman made up a song called The Scow on Cowden Shore,
Yeah.
well, what was that scow that he was talking
Well,
about?
that must have been over there now, from the Scow Shore. That was the song, I think it was.
Yeah.
Barrentown, yeah. The Scow.
Uh-huh.
Well, that was over there at Nelson. I never asked no, but that as far as I know.
Now, what was the scow? I mean, the scow itself that he talks about. He talks about the scow on the shore. What did he mean by that?
Well, I
Do you
don't
remember?
know. They used to have scows in, for tow and stuff and haul and stuff. You see, tow them in the river and yeah.
Did you ever know of them to have a scow that they tie up there at all, and the men would live on it, or anything like that?
No, but they used to have them to come down on the drives, scows. You see that they'd go for a cook scow. Temp right in, the cook could cook on it. You see.
Yeah. I see.
Are you going to sing a song after a while?
What?
Are you going to sing a song?
Haven't I seen me? I just got my teeth out.
Oh, well, you could say a little. You could say a little.
Don't be too crazy.
Wish you would.
You know a song, though.
What?
I don't know it very good.
When do you want to sing that song?
Oh, anytime.
Well,
Sure, go
sit
ahead.
down. Sit down. We'll sing.
This is too nice. Oh, I don't want to see them laugh. I can not see me. Why don't you say?
Sure, yeah.
Oh, that must start.
Well, you try. I don't know it all good, but I'll do the best I can. What's I'm going to
What is it? No. What's the first
I'm
thing?
sitting on the sound here.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm sitting on the stile, Mary, where we sat side by side on the bright May morning, long ago, when first you were my bride. Oh, the corn is ringing fresh and green. Oh, the lark sang loud and high. But the red is on your cheeks, Mary, and the love light in your eye. But they say there's work and bread for all. it's just a step down yonder lane where the village church stands there. Oh, the church that we were when married, I can see the spire from here. But the graveyard lies between Mary. Oh, my steps might disturb your rest, where I laid my darling down to rest, with a babe upon her breast. Oh, 'tis often in those grand old woods I will sit and close my eyes, and my heart will travel back again to the place where Mary lies. That's all.
What's the name of that song?
The style.
The City on Sound, Mary.
Yeah.
No, it's a very pretty song.
Well, now, there was another song you knew about the, what was it?
Old Glen Cove. Yeah.
No, but
You know Glencoe? Would you sing it for me?
Yeah.
what's that now?
Is it? Well, you sing it. You know
I
it.
was
too.
last thing, but no, but I don't really know.
Oh, one evening, as I rode a lane, all the flowers all blooming did the fields decorate, as I carelessly wandered in a place I once knew, in a clear crystal fountain, in a place called Glencoe. Oh, I spied a fair damsel, she was fair as the sun, and when I first seen her, my heart she had won. Oh, says I, pretty fair maid, if you'll with me go, you will bless the days and hours that we met at Glencoe. Oh, no, dearest young man, it's to you I'll disdain, for I have a true love, young Dundle by name, who went to the war about 12 years ago, and a maiden I remain till he turns to Glencoe. Don't depend on Dundle, no, you honor his name, for perhaps he's got married for all that you know, and has quite forgot the bonny lads that he left at Glencoe. Oh, I will depend on Dundle, and I'll honor his name. When I found her so loyal, so kind and so true, oh, I pulled out a glove. 'Twas a token when parting, 'twas a token of love. Oh, she threw her arms around me, and the tears down did flow, saying, it's you, dearest Dundle, oh, it's Dundle I know. May the great storms on the ocean at a distance might roar, may the great God of heaven have mercy on you evermore.
Very nice. We thank you.
I got kind of a Try stole
I
from
don't know
this.
if you're a good night, you went when you to the end.
Oh, it'll come to me. That'll be that way there. You were singing one way, me though.